Really, it's 1969 and we're trying to land on the moon here. There's this huge early technology, very, very difficult. Let's zoom out and look at the kind of the big picture. What do you think are the real advantages of decentralization?
You see this guy sitting on the chair on the left? This is Dr. Gavin Wood, co-founder of Ethereum. He created something huge, something next level.
We were just kind of thinking how we could maybe create the next version of Ethereum.
He created Polkadot, a public network protocol that allows any data in any form to be transferred across blockchains. For me personally, it sounded like a very interesting project. So I decided to dig deeper, and here's what I found. Polkadot is special because of being multi-chain. Blockchains such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and others have features that make each blockchain unique and solve some centralization aspects. At some point, every newly created blockchain aims to be better than older ones. But Dr. Gavin Wood sees some problems here.
What we currently have is a patchwork of, if you like, independent and isolated legal systems of the internet. And this is problematic because it creates many different groups who, although they share the same vision, they have misalignment in how they wish to achieve it, creating borders where borders don't need to be there.
According to Dr. Gavin Wood, even if there were one perfect chain, it wouldn't stay perfect very long. That's why his idea was to connect all the existing chains, so they wouldn't compete but rather complete each other. And on top of that, Polkadot users are able to create new blockchains for themselves and others to use. Wood says that Polkadot would be like an umbrella for all of the blockchains. Now, normally to create a brand new blockchain takes a lot of time, effort, and also specific knowledge. That is why Gavin created a system called Substrate.
We built not only Polkadot, the Polkadot blockchain, we also built a good blockchain framework for creating new blockchains.
Substrate lets people create their blockchain using it like a template. So you can build only the core of the blockchain and add only necessary functionalities that you prefer. And the rest of it, the Substrate framework builds.
Really, what I'm trying to tell you is that it's never been easier than today to be able to build a blockchain. With Substrate, you can literally build a blockchain in minutes.
So that's what Polkadot is. Blockchains, like a lot of dots connecting each other with the help of its brain, Substrate. What if I told you that Polkadot can solve one of the main issues common in other blockchains? Scalability. Scalable blockchain handles to connect more and more users, hold more information, and carry out more transactions. But blockchains have this problem where the more users emerge, the slower the blockchain becomes and cannot offer the most convenience for its users. But it's not the case with Polkadot. Polkadot has a different system of relay chain and parachains. Imagine that a new suburb area is being built. New houses appear, but there are no roads and no facilities at first. Later, a construction company starts to build up a gas pipeline, a power line, lay water pipes, and lastly, build a nice paved road. And there you have a beautiful suburb area. So houses are like the relay chain on Polkadot. It is the core, the main part on which other blockchains can be built on. Relay chain is responsible for the network's shared security, consensus, and cross-chain interoperability. And all the roads and pipes are supporting suburban parts, which could even go to the other suburban areas and join them all. And in Polkadot, it would be parachains. In some references, you can find parachains being called shards. Parachains are sovereign blockchains that can have their own tokens and optimize their functionality for specific use cases, such as message passing and communication among charts, exchange value, share functionality, and so on. Like you would be the administrative person of this new suburb area, and you would communicate about various matters of the area with the residents, construction company, and another suburb area's administrator. So basically it makes Polkadot as a unique heterogeneous sharding system, where numbers of blockchains can communicate non-stop and connect people all together. It also allows for multiple transactions to be processed in parallel, meaning removing bottlenecks that were a part of earlier networks that process transactions one by one. In the future, Polkadot will have a feature called nested relay chains. That will even increase the number of shards being added to the blockchain. or in other words, to create an unlimited number of blockchains.
I think the goal is like 100 parachains. So you can see like 100 different sort of like a layer 1 blockchains. And then on top of that, if we see 100 different applications, like useful applications that can all compose and leverage off each other, then you are looking at 10,000 different innovative applications.
Moreover, Polkadot developers created protocols or bridges that allows parachains to communicate and contact with external blockchains, such as Ethereum or Bitcoin. If you would like to hear more about that, let us know in the comments down below, and I'll create a video about this topic. So the whole system is like a road, leading not only from one house to another in the same suburb area, but it also lets you move from one suburb area to another suburb area in different cities. Various countries have their native currency, same as with blockchains. Every blockchain has its native coins and tokens as well. Polkadot is not an exception. It has dots, native tokens. Dot tokens have 3 main functions: governance, bonding, and staking. So I'll start with governance.
One thing that really stands out to me for Polkadot is the on-chain governance aspect of it, where there's a council, a technical committee, and any dot holder has a say in the direction of the protocol, and you can vote, and there's referenda, and it's all on chain, it's all transparent.
Dot holders have complete control over the protocol governance. Some functionalities include holders having the ability to manage protocol upgrades, determining the fees of the network, addition or removal of parachains, fixes on protocol, and so on. Like, if you are a resident of a suburb area, you, together with other residents, would have the power to decide by voting what can be changed to make this area better for living. Maybe to plant more trees, or maybe to build fences around kids' playing zones. Talking about bonding, new parachains are being added to Polkadot by bonding dots. Outdated or non-useful parachains are removed by removing bonded tokens. So basically, it is part of a proof of stake. Continuing to this though, Polkadot uses a proof-of-stake mechanism, where users have to stake dots if they want to add new blocks to the blockchain and more. Staking is important because it helps to maintain valid transactions across parachains. How's that? Well, staking itself means to give some of your tokens as a deposit. And if any staker misbehaves, for example tries to hack the system, he can be slashed, or in other words, he'll lose his staked tokens forever. It would be the same if you, as an administrator, would steal some neighborhood's funds and get fired later, or at least would pay a fine. But if the staker actually cares that everything on the blockchain would carry out well, and if he adds a new block to the blockchain correctly, then the staker is being rewarded. Or, as being an administrator, you would do everything best you can for your neighborhood. You would end up getting paid more for your good job. In Polkadot, there are 4 types of proof-of-stake consensus roles: nominators, validators, collators, and fishermen. Nominators are basically holding dots and can nominate validators, the ones who are going to hold some of nominator dots and stake them. Basically, like the residents of a suburb area would choose a person to administrate the area's business, it is important to pick validators carefully. If they do not behave properly, they will get slashed and the nominator will lose dot tokens as well. So, if residents choose a bad and irresponsible administrator, there would be lots of mess in a neighborhood, for example, security questions being forgotten. On the other hand, if validators do follow the rules of the network, then they can share in generating staking rewards with nominators. Like if residents choose a decent and caring administrator, then everyone will be living without any problems. Validators secure the relay chain by staking dot tokens, validating transactions, and participating in consensus with other validators. Validators make sure that each parachain follows its unique rules and can share messages between shards in a completely trustworthy environment. Or, as I've said before, a validator is like an administrator of a suburb area who is responsible for keeping the area safe, well-developed, and always welcoming to new residents. Collators collect all shard transactions and produce proofs for validators. So imagine that there are workers in the administrative office who always checks if the administrator works and holds his tasks carefully. And lastly, fishermen are fishing the bad behavior happening in the network, meaning reporting it to validators. So it would be people who are helpers for the administrator, always telling him if something is not going according to plan. Well, this is actually just the tip of an iceberg of the Polkadot staking mechanism. So if you would like more technical stuff, let me know in the comments section. Polkadot can become the whole new future of the internet, connecting everyone in one place and using all the strengths of the blockchains existing right now. Time will show if Polkadot will actually become more and more crucial, and I think the matter is in our hands. So what do you guys think about Polkadot?